you ever had that gut feeling she's waiting for you to make a move yet she says nothing? She doesn't spell it out, doesn't confess, doesn't even hint directly. But her energy, it's electric. Her Vibe, unmistakable. Here's the truth. Younger women today are fluent in subtle signals. They won't hand you a roadmap. They'll test your awareness, your calm, and whether you know how to read between the lines. If you miss it, she pulls away. If you catch it, game on. This isn't about tricks. This is about presence, stoic strength, the kind of quiet masculinity that doesn't chase, doesn't beg, but sees clearly and acts with intention. In this video, we're decoding 10 hidden signs that she's into you but won't admit it. You'll learn what her silence means, what her social media says without saying it, and how to respond like a man she craves, not a guy she forgets. So, if you've ever walked away wondering, was she into me or not? This is your moment of clarity. Make sure you're subscribed and, if you're serious about mastering these dynamics, join the Stoic Brotherhood. You're not watching this by accident. Let's get into it. Number 1. She's watching you when you're not looking. You ever get that strange feeling like someone's watching you, and you turn, and sure enough, she's looking, but suddenly pretends she wasn't? That's not random. That's not nothing. That's her trying to study you without being caught. It's one of the oldest unspoken moves in the game of attraction, especially with younger women who prefer to suggest interest rather than announce it. You need to understand this. When a woman watches you when you're not looking, she's gathering information. She's noticing how you carry yourself, your calmness, your focus, your laugh, your posture. She wants to know if the energy you project when you're not on display matches the energy you give when you are. This is powerful because she's not just reacting to what you show her. She's looking for authenticity. Now here's where most men miss it. They think attraction only happens in direct interaction, that if she's not talking to you, it means nothing's happening. But in reality, some of the most potent interest is silent. It's unspoken. It's in that quick glance she gives you from across the room when you're deep in conversation with someone else. It's in the way she mirrors your expression, or slightly adjusts her body when you laugh. The key here is this: don't perform. Be consistent. Stoic philosophy teaches us to remain centered, internally grounded, regardless of who's watching. When you're consistent with who you are, both in silence and in social settings, you pass her subconscious test. She starts to trust the version of you that's not trying to impress. That's when curiosity turns into desire. Let's get practical. You're at a cafe, reading or talking with friends. You notice her glance your way more than once, but every time you meet her eyes, she looks away quickly. Most guys would think, that's nothing, but what she's actually doing is checking how you carry yourself in your natural state. If you respond by suddenly adjusting your posture or trying to force eye contact next time, it breaks the spell. She sees you become performative. Instead, stay still, stay composed. Let her curiosity build. That's when your silence becomes magnetic. There's also a deeper layer to this psychologically. Younger women, especially those attracted to confident older men, aren't looking for someone desperate to be seen. They're drawn to someone comfortable being unseen. That mystery, that calm assurance, signals experience. It signals emotional depth. And when you stay in your lane, not chasing attention, you give her the space to observe and crave more. And make no mistake, the moment she starts watching you without you knowing, she's mentally stepping into your world. She's no longer focused on her phone or the room or herself. She's now trying to figure you out. That's when you know you've shifted the energy. So what should you do when you catch her watching? Nothing. Not yet. That's the mistake most men make. They jump the gun, walk over, and try to force interaction. But when she's in observer mode, your patience is your weapon. Let her watch. Let her wonder. Let her build that silent narrative in her head about who you are. Because once she's done that, once she's imagined a story around you, she's emotionally invested. And now, You have her full attention. From a Stoic perspective, this is about control not of her, but of yourself. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." You don't chase being seen, you earn it through presence. So next time you feel her gaze lingering, don't flinch, don't act, just exist fully in your space. That calm, that quiet confidence will speak louder than any pickup line ever could. Say it with me in the comments. I own the moment. And listen, this is only the beginning. If you thought that subtle glance meant something, wait until you see the next sign. You're about to start recognizing things you've probably missed your entire life. Stick around. Number 2. Her "hey" text is a test. You get a message, just one word. Hey. No context, no follow-up, just that. And now you're wondering, should I respond? Should I double text? Should I wait? Let's make something clear. That "hey" isn't innocent. It's a test. It's her way of knocking on the door to see if you'll throw it wide open. And if you don't understand the game behind that one-word text, you're going to fail it. You see, when a younger woman sends you a basic "hey," she's not really starting a conversation, she's testing your positioning. She wants to know, are you needy? Are you too available? Are you going to validate her just for showing up with minimal effort? This is where most men crumble. They jump in with full enthusiasm. Hey, what's up? Good to hear from you. They try to carry the whole conversation. And in doing so, they reveal everything she needs to know, that you're too easy, too eager, too hungry for her time. It kills the polarity. What she's actually looking for in that moment is your center, your restraint, your sense of value. She wants to feel your calm, non-reactive energy. She wants to know that you don't chase breadcrumbs. Think about Stoicism here. The Stoic man is not ruled by impulses. He doesn't react emotionally to every little spark. He evaluates, stays composed, and makes moves rooted in reason, not desperation. So how do you handle that "hey"? You slow down. You don't jump into performance mode. You don't text back a paragraph hoping to get a response. You mirror her energy. If she gives you minimal, you return minimal. And not with passive aggression, but with quiet confidence. Hey. Hey. Now the ball's back in her court. She has to decide if she wants to step up and actually engage. And if she doesn't, that tells you everything you need to know. You don't have to chase someone who's not showing up. That's emotional intelligence. Remember, a woman who's genuinely interested will try to create connection. She'll ask you something. She'll share something. She won't just throw a lazy bait line and wait for you to perform. Let me give you a real-world scenario. You've been talking to a girl casually. The connection was warm at first. Then she went cold. A week later, you get, "hey." You feel tempted to re-spark things. You think, maybe she's giving me a second chance. But what she's really doing is checking to see if you're still there, still orbiting her, still emotionally tied. And if you instantly respond like nothing ever happened, she gets what she needs: validation without ever having to show up meaningfully. Don't give her that. Instead, stay grounded. Respond when it makes sense, briefly, calmly, without emotion. Let her feel that you're not emotionally invested in someone who hasn't shown you effort. Let her feel that your energy is expensive. Because here's the thing. Women crave contrast. The man who doesn't overreact. The man who doesn't need to prove anything. The man who can receive her minimal text and respond without leaning forward. He's the one she starts leaning toward. Now, I'm not saying play games. Stoicism isn't about manipulation. It's about internal clarity, about knowing your worth, about never outsourcing your self-esteem to someone else's text thread. That one-word message, it's not just digital noise, it's a signal, but it's also an invitation to not react, to remain unmoved until real intention shows up. So next time you see a "hey," ask yourself, is this real connection a test of my emotional control? Because the man who doesn't flinch wins. Drop it in the comments. I don't chase breadcrumbs. And if that hit, you'll want to stick around, because the next signal she sends, it's bolder, riskier, and if you're not tuned in, you'll miss the moment completely. Number 3, she posts. You're the target. She uploads a story. It's not random. It's a picture of her in a tight dress, or a quote about being done with boys, or maybe it's a casual selfie caption, just her face glowing under golden hour light. And here's the part that too many men miss. It's not for everyone. It's not just for her followers. It's not even for her ex. It's for you specifically. Because when a younger woman wants you to make a move, but doesn't want to spell it out, she'll do what psychology calls indirect signaling. She'll create noise in public spaces to trigger your attention privately. Let's break this down. Women, especially younger women, are social communicators. They don't always tell you directly what they want. That would cost too much vulnerability. Instead, they create scenarios. They engineer emotional environments to pull you in rather than ask you in. A subtle Instagram post is one of her sharpest tools. If she's feeling drawn to you but unsure where you stand, she's going to post something that forces you to notice her again. Not by tagging you, not by messaging you, but by lighting the fire and waiting to see if you walk toward the smoke. Now here's where your Stoic mindset is critical. A man without discipline sees the story, taps it, and immediately drops a fire emoji or some flirty comment. You fail the test. Why? Because you signal that she still has power over you, that you're still orbiting her. A Stoic man sees the post and reads it for what it is. An emotional pulse check. A silent knock at your door. So, how do you respond? You don't. At least not immediately. You absorb the information, you observe, but you don't let your ego jump into action. You let her signal hang in the air without giving her the satisfaction of confirmation. You're not playing hard to get. You're being grounded. You're staying in control of your own rhythm. Now, let me give you a real-life example. You've been talking to a girl for a few weeks. Things slow down. She starts pulling back. And then, bam, she posts a thirst trap, or a throwback of crazy nights that you weren't a part of. But within 10 minutes of posting, she checks to see if you saw it. You know it's about you because it aligns with things you talked about. It's emotionally calibrated to provoke you. That's not coincidence. That's strategy. She's trying to shift your energy to see if she can get a reaction, if she can pull you off center. But what if instead you stayed composed? What if you made her wonder whether you saw it, whether you cared, whether she still had access to your attention? That's when the balance of power shifts. Now, some of you are going to ask, but what if I want to message her? Isn't that being confident? Look, confidence isn't about reacting to her bait. It's about creating your own frame. If she wants to re-engage, she needs to come through the front door, not toss breadcrumbs from a distance. You don't chase signals. You reward effort. Stoicism reminds us, you control only your thoughts and actions, not her posts, not her mood, not her attention games. If her post is about you, fine. Let her reveal that. But don't offer validation without investment. And here's a deeper truth: when she sees that her post didn't shake you, when she notices your silence, that's when the desire builds. That's when curiosity turns into craving. Because nothing drives a woman wilder than a man she can't quite read. A man who doesn't flinch when she tries to move his world. That's power. So next time you see her post something and wonder if it's meant for you, assume it is. Then, remember who you are. A man with options, a man with standards, a man who doesn't bite at every line cast in his direction. Comment below. I control the frame. And keep watching. The next signal, it's subtle, but if you catch it, you'll see the moment she moves from playful curiosity to real magnetic attraction. Don't miss it. Number 4, she acts cold but wants heat. This one throws a lot of men off. You're vibing, things seem to be flowing, and then suddenly she pulls back. Her texts become short. Her tone turns neutral. Maybe she even ghosts for a day or two. And most guys, they panic. They chase. They send long texts. They try to fix the problem. But here's what you need to understand. That cold front, it's not rejection. It's tension. It's a test. A deliberate move designed to see what kind of man she's dealing with. Younger women, whether they do it consciously or not, often go cold on purpose. Not because they've lost interest, but because they want to feel the heat of your energy when you stay grounded. The contrast makes them feel something. It creates emotional polarity. Think of it like this. If she acts cold and you become colder, that's emotional detachment. The game dies. If she acts cold and you become overly warm, clingy, needy, emotionally reactive, you fail the test. Why? Because now she knows she can control the pace. She has the power. But if she acts cold and you stay still, stoic, composed, centered, now you set the temperature. She doesn't want a man who scrambles to fix her mood. She wants a man who remains unshaken, who can take the cold without shivering. That calm confidence, that's the warmth she's drawn to. Let me give you a real example. A woman texts you dry after a fun date. One-word answers. Delayed replies. Most guys immediately ask, is something wrong? Or worse, they double text. But a grounded man, he pauses. He might wait to reply, or he simply mirrors the energy without resentment. And suddenly, she comes back, warmer than before. Why? Because she felt your steadiness. Because your lack of emotional overreaction signaled strength, not indifference, but restraint. That's powerful. This is straight from Stoic philosophy. Control only what you can, your actions, your energy, your emotions. Her behavior, that's hers to manage. You don't need to dance around her moods. You lead by example. Here's a practical tip. Next time she acts cold, don't see it as a threat. See it as a reset. It's a moment to lean into your own power, to let the silence speak for you. Go to the gym, handle your business. Be seen living your life. And when she senses you haven't crumbled, that's when the temperature shifts. Not because you tried harder, but because you stayed hotter by not flinching. A younger woman may act cold for many reasons: fear, confusion, control, but what matters isn't why, it's how you respond. She's not looking for someone to decode her. She's watching how you carry yourself under emotional pressure. Do you beg for connection? Or do you respect the distance and let her come to you? Let's go deeper. From a psychological standpoint, many women use coldness as a tool to create space for tension, for self-protection, for clarity. If you violate that space, you kill the desire. But if you honor it, even enjoy it, you keep the flame alive. Because here's the paradox. Coldness creates craving if you handle it right. And from a Stoic view, detachment is not disinterest, it's self-command. A man who can feel attraction without acting impulsively is rare, and she knows that. She's testing to see if you're that kind of man. So next time she pulls back, don't react emotionally. Don't try to explain or plead. Just hold your line. Let her feel the distance she created, and let her be the one to bridge it if she wants the warmth back. Comment below. I bring the heat. Because if you can stay hot while she goes cold, she won't forget that feeling. She'll crave the warmth of your steadiness more than anything else. And in the next part, we'll explore a move she makes when she really wants you to notice her but still won't admit it. Don't miss what's coming next. Number 5. She tries to spark jealousy. This one is subtle, clever, and often completely misunderstood by men, especially older men, who are more logic-driven and less attuned to emotional plays. When a younger woman is into you, but she doesn't want to be direct, she might try to provoke something else instead. Your jealousy. Now let's be clear. This isn't malicious. This isn't about manipulating or hurting you. It's about confirmation. She's looking for evidence. She wants to know. Do you feel something for her? Do you notice her? Would it matter to you if she was with someone else? And she doesn't ask these questions directly. number. She triggers them emotionally. She'll casually bring up a guy's name. She might post a photo with a vague caption. She might flirt with someone right in front of you, watching from the corner of her eye to see your reaction. But here's the trap. If you bite, if you react with emotional, immature accusations, coldness, or attempts to one-up her, you lose frame. You become the puppet, dancing to her emotional test. That's not attractive, that's predictable. On the other hand, if you notice her little jealousy games and handle them with calm awareness, you win. Why? Because she feels your confidence. She knows you're not blind, but, more importantly, you're not threatened. Let me paint the scene. You're at a party. You've been talking with her earlier. There's chemistry. Later, you see her laughing with another guy, getting a little touchy. But she keeps glancing your way. That's not random. That's deliberate. She's trying to stir something in you, but she wants you to stay cool. She wants to see if your confidence holds when things get uncertain. So what should you do? Simple. Observe, smile internally, and let her play. You don't need to confront. You don't need to compete. What you do need to do, remain rooted in your worth. Maybe you keep engaging with others. Maybe you make a subtle, calm move to re-engage her without chasing. The key is not to punish her for the test, but not reward it either. Stay above it. This is where Stoicism becomes a secret weapon. A Stoic man doesn't react based on emotions. He responds based on values. Your value isn't determined by who she talks to. Your confidence doesn't need reassurance. The test doesn't shake you because you don't place your identity in her approval. She'll feel that, and she'll be drawn to it. Now, let's talk about the why behind her jealousy tactics. A younger woman often faces uncertainty in her emotions. She's exploring how it feels to be desired, to be noticed, to have power. But deep down, she's also looking for a man who doesn't crumble under that power. So when she tries to trigger jealousy, she's actually craving reassurance for herself. She wants to know that she matters, but she also wants to know you're not emotionally fragile. The perfect balance? Show her she's not invisible without being emotionally volatile. Here's a key example. You're texting with her, and out of nowhere she says, "So, this guy from work keeps buying me coffee." Most guys would get sarcastic, passive-aggressive, or insecure. But the grounded man, he might reply with something like, "Sounds like he's trying hard, can't blame him," playful, non-reactive, confident. That subtle shift tells her, you're not bothered but you're not blind. She'll feel it, and she'll shift. When you pass the jealousy test, something changes. Her energy softens. She becomes more direct, more open, more feminine. Because now she knows, you're not like the rest. You don't need to be the loudest guy in the room to own your value. You are the storm she can't shake, and that's magnetic. Comment below. I stay calm. Because staying calm when she tries to light the fire is what makes you unforgettable. And in the next part, we're going to explore something even more mysterious, a move she makes when she's inviting closeness without saying a single word. Stick with me. Number 6. She comes back with rules. Here's a curveball that throws a lot of men off, especially the emotionally mature, logical ones. You've been talking to her, there's a spark, things feel like they're moving, then she suddenly pulls away. Maybe she ghosts you for a bit, gives you the cold shoulder, or vanishes into vague responses. But then, surprises, she comes back. Except this time, it's different. Now she's got rules. She doesn't just slide back into connection like nothing happened. She comes back with conditions, subtle ones or even direct ones. "Let's not rush anything," she says. Or, "I just want to keep things light." Maybe it's, "We can hang out but no expectations." And you, being the grounded, emotionally aware man you're trying to be, might think, okay, she's just being cautious. Or worse, you try to negotiate. Big mistake. Let me tell you what's really going on here. When she pulls back and reappears with boundaries, she's not just setting healthy limits, she's testing your leadership. She wants to see how you respond to resistance. Are you going to plead your case? Are you going to shrink to fit into her frame? Or are you going to stay solid, steady, and unshaken? This is the moment where most men lose the game. They think her rules are about logic. They think if they're patient, agreeable, and respectful enough, she'll come around. But attraction doesn't work like that. Not when it's rooted in polarity. Not when it's based on energy, not words. Here's what most men miss. Her rules aren't about control, they're about confirmation. She's checking whether you're the kind of man who can hold frame. Whether you're still attracted to her, even when she tries to box you in. Whether you still move like a man with options, or if you're just grateful she came back. When she says, let's take it slow, what she often really means is, prove to me that I'm worth the effort, but don't make it too easy for me. End quote. And this is where the Stoic mindset becomes critical. A Stoic doesn't chase validation. He doesn't get emotionally tangled when someone changes the terms. He stays rooted in his values and lets behavior, not words, guide his next move. So when she returns with rules, your job is not to argue or beg or over-explain. Your job is to evaluate, is this worth my energy? Is the connection alive, or is it now a power play? Let me give you a grounded example. She disappears for a week. Then out of nowhere she texts, "Hey stranger, I've been thinking, let's hang out, but I just want to be upfront that I'm not looking for anything serious right now." That sounds reasonable, respectable, even, but what's underneath that? She wants to be around your energy, but she doesn't want to feel too exposed. So she places a safety net, rules. If you're needy, you'll agree and adapt. If you're a Stoic man, you'll respond with calm clarity. You might say, appreciate the honesty. I'm not rushing anything either. Let's just see what the vibe feels like. You're not agreeing to her frame, you're setting your own. You're showing her that you lead with presence, not persuasion. Because deep down, she doesn't want to run the relationship. She wants to feel safe letting you run it. But only if you've proven you're not fragile when she throws tests your way. Now, don't get it twisted. Boundaries are healthy. If she says no to something specific and it's clear, you respect it. But when boundaries come with emotional tests, rules designed to put you on the defensive, that's where leadership matters. If you accept unclear or manipulative boundaries just to keep her around, you're already losing yourself. So when she comes back with rules, pause, read between the lines, and most importantly, remember who you are. A man who stands grounded doesn't need to bargain for attention. He doesn't shrink just to keep the peace. He leads not by force, but by clarity. She may come back with rules, but you come back with standards. Comment below. I lead with clarity, because that's the energy she's actually craving even when her words say otherwise. And in the next part, we're going deeper into something she does without realizing it, that signals her inner conflict and your opportunity. Stay close. Number 7. She moves on but leaves the door open. Now let's talk about one of the most confusing signals a younger woman can send. She says she's moving on, but something about how she does it doesn't quite feel final. Maybe she unfollows you but still watches your stories. Maybe she tells you she's seeing someone new, but brings it up in a way that sounds more like a performance than a declaration. Maybe she ghosts for a while, then replies to your story with a laughing emoji out of nowhere, and you're left wondering, what is this? Is she gone, or is she not? The answer? She's leaving the door open. Not because she's unsure about you, not because she's confused, but because part of her wants to see what kind of man you become without her. That's a psychological pattern rooted in both feminine nature and human desire. When she walks away but keeps the line faintly alive, it's a form of delayed attraction. She's stepping back to see if the gravity between you two still pulls, and, more importantly, if you're still standing where she left you. This is where most men fail. They wait, they stay emotionally frozen, checking for signs of return. They keep hoping that any small breadcrumb like a like on an old photo, a signal she wants back in. But here's the truth. If she moved on but left the door open, it's not an invitation. It's a mirror. She wants to see if you'll grow, rise, evolve you, if you'll just stare at the door hoping she turns the knob. Let's ground this with a real-life example. You were casually seeing each other, the energy was strong, but things fizzled. Maybe she said she wasn't ready, or she drifted away slowly. Then you see a post. She's out with someone else. New guy, new city, maybe even a new vibe. That stings. But a few weeks later, she watches all your stories. She likes a post, maybe even replies with haha to something unrelated. You're tempted to read into it, but stop. That's not the play. The Stoic response isn't to chase the door she left open. It's to become the man she would regret walking away from. Because here's the paradox. When you stop standing at that door, she starts wondering why you didn't. When you stop trying to prove you're worthy, you actually become more desirable. Not because you're trying to win her back, but because you're winning yourself. From the Stoic perspective, desire is best expressed through stillness, not scrambling. If she's meant to return, it won't be because you waited. It'll be because you evolved. Because your presence grew heavier in your own life and lighter in hers. Remember, women often make decisions emotionally, but they review them logically. Time gives her perspective. And when she sees you didn't flinch, didn't spiral, didn't beg, she remembers why she was drawn to you in the first place. So what should you do when she leaves that door open? Nothing. Don't peek through it. Don't message through it. Don't wait by it. Instead, build so much life inside your house that you forget the door even exists. Because when she walks back, if she does, it won't be because you waited, it'll be because you became undeniable. Comment below. I close my own doors. All. And in the next part, we're going to explore the one thing she does when she's not sure why she still thinks about you but can't seem to stop. Stay sharp. Number 8. Her silence is a signal. Let's clear something up right now. Silence is never neutral. When a woman stops texting, stops calling, stops reacting, it's not just absence, it's a message. And if you're a man who understands how attraction works beneath the surface, you won't panic, you won't double text, you won't over-explain. You'll read the silence like a signal flare. Because here's what most guys get wrong. They assume that silence means disinterest, rejection, game over. But often, it's actually a test, a reset, or even a disguised invitation. See, when a younger woman goes silent, she might be doing it for one of several reasons. Maybe she's seeing how long you'll chase. Maybe she's checking her own emotions. Or maybe this one's subtle, she wants to feel missed without having to say she wants to be missed. That last one. It's more common than you think. In modern dating, especially when the age gap is involved, younger women often struggle with expressing vulnerability directly. So they rely on indirect language, emotional distance, delayed replies, or straight-up silencino to end things. But to watch you. Will you stay composed, or will you get reactive? This is where Stoicism becomes your secret weapon. Because the Stoic man doesn't panic in silence. He doesn't assign immediate negative meaning to the absence of noise. He pauses, reflects, and remains grounded. Seneca said, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." Silence is your wind, but if you don't know what you stand for, you'll be blown off course the moment she disappears for a day. Let's bring it to a real-world example. You've been talking to her daily. Everything's flowing. Then, one morning, nothing. No good morning text. No reply by noon. By evening, you're tempted to send, "Hey, is everything okay?" Stop. Before you respond to the silence, ask yourself, am I reacting from fear, or responding from strength. If you double text, over-apologize, or start spiraling into, "Did I do something wrong?" energy, she'll feel it. And that energy-needy, uncentered, emotionally dependent kills attraction faster than any mistake. Instead, what if you leaned back? What if you let her silence echo? Because that echo will do something powerful. It'll make her confront her own thoughts, her own curiosity, her own emotional investment in you. Sometimes, the most attractive thing you can do is nothing. The Stoic man recognizes that silence is fertile ground, that in space, desire either withers or ignites. If she's interested, the silence will draw her forward. If she's not, it will reveal the truth without you having to beg for clarity. And that's the beauty of understanding silence. As a signal, it keeps your dignity intact while bringing her intentions to light. Comment below. I read her silence. And listen, the next signal is one she doesn't even realize she's giving, but once you spot it, you'll never unsee it. Stick with me. Number 9. She mirrors your detachment. You ever notice that when you pull back emotionally, stop texting first, stop showing too much interest, she starts acting exactly like you? That's not coincidence. That's mirroring. And if you understand it, you can use it to read her deeper than words ever will. When a younger woman starts mirroring your detachment, she's responding to your energy on an instinctual level. Humans are wired to mirror those they're emotionally attuned to, and this especially happens in romantic dynamics. If you're warm and open, she likely reflects that. But the moment you go cold, she starts freezing too, not because she's lost interest, but because she's following your emotional lead. Now here's where it gets subtle. Some guys think, "Oh, she's pulling away because she's not into me." But what's actually happening is that she's waiting to see who you are when the chase dies down. Do you lose composure when she stops responding quickly? Do you shift into insecurity? Or do you hold your ground with calm, masculine stillness? Stoicism teaches emotional sovereignty. You don't react to every signal. You observe, you analyze, and then you act from principle. Epictetus said it best: "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." So when she mirrors your coolness, don't be quick to interpret it as rejection. Instead, recognize it as a reflection of your current energy. She's not leading, she's reading you. The game now becomes one of intentional contrast. Real example: you start seeing a woman, things go well. Then you stop putting in as much effort to test the waters. She matches that energy. Days go by, nothing. And then, out of nowhere, she posts something clearly aimed at getting your attention. Why? Because silence got boring. Because your detachment didn't feel grounded. It felt indifferent. That's the difference. True detachment isn't cold. It's present, but not clingy. Calm, but not distant. It's the confidence to not pursue, but also the clarity to show interest when it's real. A woman will mirror that. And when she does, she's not playing games. She's showing you the power of your presence by what she reflects back in your absence. Comment below. I stay grounded, whole. And if you think that was subtle, wait until you realize the next sign isn't in what she does, it's in what she stops doing. Hang tight. Number 10. She wants you to take the lead. Here's the truth most men miss. She might be dropping signs, playing coy, acting mysterious, but deep down, what she's really hoping for is that you'll take the lead. Not because she's passive or unsure of what she wants, but because the dance of polarity, the natural tension between masculine and feminine energy, depends on direction. And direction starts with you. When a younger woman is attracted to you, she may not spell it out. She won't say, "Hey, I want you to kiss me now," or "Ask me out again." But her energy, her presence, her subtle cues, those are green lights. The longer you hesitate, the dimmer those lights get. Leadership in this context doesn't mean control. It means initiative, confidence. the ability to create momentum and offer clarity when she's playing in ambiguity. You feel that tension building in conversation? You're meant to act. You sense she's pulling closer when you're silent. That's not your cue to back away. It's your chance to anchor the moment. Stoicism teaches you to act with reason, not impulse. But it doesn't mean inaction. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." That includes being decisive. In the world of attraction, hesitation often feels like weakness. Certainty, especially calm, grounded certainty, is intoxicating. Here's what most men forget. Women don't want to feel like they're dragging you into connection. They want to feel chosen, desired, claimed not in words, but in energy. When you take the lead with integrity, you offer her safety and excitement. You remove the burden of guessing. You give her something solid to lean into. So when you notice the signs, when her eye contact lingers, when she replies just a little too fast, when her silence holds tension, don't wait for permission. Lean in, move forward. Do it without apology, but with respect. That's how you honor her attraction, without demanding it. She wants you to take the lead, not with arrogance, but with direction. Because when you lead well, she gets to relax into the moment. And that's where the real connection begins. If you made it this far, you're not just watching, you're leveling up. So don't stop now. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you're ready to go deeper, to be part of a tribe that gets it, join the Stoic Brotherhood. Real men, real conversations, real growth. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.